So here's a little bit of a behind-the-scenes kind of thing I thought I'd do. I mean, I have this elaborate set here just for like a 10 to 15 second bumper for Longbox of the Damned. I thought I'd do a little bit of a behind-the-scenes sort of like, this is what I put up for this tiny little thing. I'm throwing cat treats to my cat so that he'll leave me alone while I do this. And so as you can see, this is a pretty elaborate set that I made here. There's a Longbox of the Damned logo there. My new quantum wrench. A whole bunch of other things. Lots of props that I've accumulated over the years were made for various reasons. You see Reginald over there. And Quinn. I have all these lovely skeletons and skulls and little LED candles. I figured real candles would probably be a little much. I don't like to work with fire if I don't have to. Some of these props are actually pretty old. Some of them are pretty new. And as you can see, I actually did make a cake. I'll explain that in a second. And I did get the warden in. This is actually not nearly as elaborate as I wanted it to be. I actually originally intended for this to be outside, but that didn't work out. And I was hoping to get some help to film, but that also fell through. So this is kind of my Hail Mary pass here at the 5-yard line. And yeah, so the warden's kind of in it. I put his mask on my Angel of Death skeleton, and his sash and his fez, which barely fits on there. And I got this metallic silver skeleton, and I put a real antique, or at least old anyway, I don't know if it's antique, but it's an old fez on top of there. And I got the skeleton is new, and I got him mostly for this shoot. And he's a reference to Linkara from Atop the Fourth Wall. And as you can see, he actually has a Linkara style hand. I've actually had this prop for like 25 years. I did eventually paint it silver years ago so it would look like a Terminator hand. And I just happened to notice he had the same prop for Linkara's hand. So I figured, I could throw it in, why not? Why not? I have a bunch of chains and little geary things and bottles and more LEDs and a black marble or some sort of stone ball there. And you know, this little light up skull here, that's also an antique. I had to replace its bulbs, which it was kind of difficult to do, but it works just fine. I mean, it's an old thing, but it works. And as you can see, I have a cake here. It's actually a carrot cake, and as you can see, I decorated it to look like the world, and I took a piece out of it because that is a reference to the Atop the Fourth Wall's ongoing storyline. A piece of the world is missing, and so that's why I figured I'd make that reference. I am a reference-making machine, kind of. Oh, by the way, as you can see, Norm's over there in the shadow over there. I've actually got my demon skeletons, and there's a reason I have two of them. It's because they were like 75% off in Target like 3 years ago. And they were really supposed to be, you know, like a backpack kind of thing. You wear them on the back, but I don't really need them to do that, so I said the heck with that. And I have a whole bunch of stuff on the walls, including my Vengeance of the Zombies poster that I made for our episode, CFTP episode, Vengeance of the Zombies, which is actually playing, as you can see on the monitor over here, because I wanted to make sure that we got in. And I also have the photo from the Overlook Hotel, because I thought that was kind of neat. And the warden's staff, his magical staff, is also behind him, so that's another little reference to him. And all in all, yeah, this turned out pretty well, I think, with all the doodads and whatnot. You can see this is my copy of the Necronomicon under here, which I have yet to complete. I've only got this page on here because when I started, I didn't realize that the ink that I was using was water-soluble. So I did get some new ink, I just haven't gotten around to actually writing that. I actually have a few other books I should really get back to writing, as you can see. And that's actually, this box is for another book that I have, but I thought that was kind of neat, so I put that in there. And yeah, I messed it up. What I did over here was I set up my old computer to play this episode of Cinematic for the People. And I just happen to have on my own computer, so I set that up behind here on a pedestal. This was sort of a last-minute thing. I didn't really intend to do this originally. I put a nice flashing strobe light behind here. I thought it would be a neat little effect. And yeah, so I kind of fiddled with my old computer just to get this done, so I wouldn't have to hook up a video or anything down here. It worked out pretty well. And oh, this is a new thing. This is a golden skull that I got on sale already. Here's the back of Quinn. Here's the other side of the table, as you can sort of see. And I got these goggles. They thought they would look kind of cool. Plus, they're also a reference to what's his name? Both Dr. Insano and Linksano. Those doctors, those mad doctors. Nice little reference there, I thought. The other side of the warden. I might show you his secret in a minute. I also have a few things in the window. I have chains and spiders and other things all up and around. Because I have this stuff. Because I frickin' love Halloween. I really do. And I have sort of an altar over here that I set up. It's going to take a lot to clean up. And oh, and this guy is a toad that I got. A nice rubbery kind of toad. It was brand new this year, so I'm kind of happy about that one. And this probably didn't make it into the shoot because it's just up on the wall over here. It's sort of a reference to our Cinematic for the People episode, Invasion of the Bee Girls. And above that, actually, I have the Warden's old mask from 20 years ago. That's what his mask used to look like all those years ago. So it was retro Warden. Now, if you want to know the Warden's secret, he does have a secret to his mask. Except it's very difficult to actually show that off with that on there. His secret is that it falls over. Now, his secret is that he actually has a double mask. He has a dual mask. And that is the interior of his mask. Which not many people get to see. I've actually put a lot of work into this sort of cheap plastic mask, double plastic mask that I got on Amazon. It worked out pretty well. Back to the cake. It's actually not a bad cake. I'll have to eat that at some point. But I got this cake mostly because it didn't have much decorations on the top. It just had like a carrot that I could remove, so I could like put. What I used was these little blue sugary like powder kind of a stuff, granules, and then I used regular old frosting, you know, and in the tube things to do the continents and whatnot. And I have this lovely. This is also brand new this year. This is a fiery sort of effect that you can use. This nice little thing. I have a few of these. I have a blue one, a white one, and now I have this reddish, orangish, yellowish, and with a tiny bit of green in it. I don't know why there's a tiny bit of green in it, but there is. But I don't really mind. It's actually a very nice thing. And there's my cat Gizmo. Yeah, I know I've got stuff everywhere. He's very confused as to why I'm doing this. But yeah, all in all, this shoot turned out pretty darn well, I think. I hope I have the footage necessary, and hopefully it won't take too long to edit. And sorry about this, I'm going to turn this off because this thing is loud and making horrible little screeching noises. Probably should have turned that off earlier, but yeah, there we are. I'm going to have to turn all this stuff off before the batteries run out. So I don't know if I'm going to win. I hope I do. If I don't, well, I still kind of had fun making it. And there we are.